As they passed by me, I wish that I could have gone after them to implore the parents not to lose hope, to look at their children and see that their children were suffering as well. In times like these, it's hard things to look at the children, for they're the ones who lost their childhood all too soon. For them, the suffering is different, is one filled with confusion and loss that most adults don't understand. I wish I could push the parents to give the children their childhoods back. It doesn't even have to be going to a carnival or a zoo. It can be as simple as playing a board game by candlelight, anything that wakes up a child's spirits. A child needs these soft, heartwarming memories of childhood to feel who they become. Without it, I fear what they might become. I saw the family walking away and held myself back from doing what I wanted. I knew that if I'd gone after them, they would have probably met me with confusion and hostility. The police would have been called, possibly, and I would have accomplished nothing. What? I know, I know. That part isn't very optimistic. But I have to remind myself to be realistic. Oddly, I used to have this therapist who said that I didn't need to save everyone, that everyone's problems were not my own. I still haven't figured out how to break this habit of trying to help everyone. To be honest, I don't know if I should. As I turned away and kept on walking, I realized that there was something familiar in the eyes of the family. They looked like Matt's eyes before he left. It didn't take much for me to think about Matt. He surrounds every thought. Once I started thinking about him, I remember lazy Sundays on the couch or us talking in bed. I don't want to think about the bad stuff like idiotic arguments we had, especially the arguments in the last few weeks he was here. He will come back. I know that. I have to believe in that. Anyway, I heard birds singing above me as I walked. A few cars drove by on the road. Somewhere I could hear someone laughing. It made me feel good to hear. At least humor hadn't died out yet. Ahead of me, I saw a police officer with untidy facial hair standing in front of a barrier which was blocking the street. By the officer's side, there was an enormous sign up that said, "Rip in area, go around." A slight tinge of fear ran through me as I walked past the officer and the barrier. Like everyone else, a chance to look and saw that there was a small rip down the box. Police officers in the vehicle surrounded it at a safe distance. "Keep walking, everyone. It might only be a category 1, but it's still dangerous," police officer at the barrier said, as though talking could be heard on his walkie. I swore that I could have heard someone asking what everyone else wanted for lunch. Ignoring him, people gathered on the corner by the barrier and looked at the rip. Some took photos of it. Suddenly I could hear loud, bass-heavy music coming from down the block, which drew the attention of everyone on the street. I knew they would show up. Someone yelled out from within the crowd. A speeding van appeared in the distance, passing dangerously around cars. The music grew louder and louder as I could tell the music was coming from the van. The vehicle came to a sudden stop in front of the barrier, the music drowning out everyone's voices. Had speakers mounted on it and spray painted with song lyrics. Things like, "Rips cannot take me," and "Down with the Rip." The name Faulkner's was painted on the side of the van in bright letter, yellow. Did you hear about these people? They were a group of musicians who proclaimed that they could close the Rips. You'd always see them at the Rips. But for me, this was my first time seeing them. The van opened and a group of strangely dressed people stepped out. A woman in a robe made of grass, carrying a violin. A man with a bass guitar built and dressed like a wrestler, torn shirt and all. Another man reminded me of a punk rocker. He had ripped jeans, a down vest, and tattoos covering his arms as he held drumsticks in his hands. 3 people in white clothing and bright red spaghetti straps carried an electric drum set off the van. At the forefront of this group, there were Mother Faulkner and Father Faulkner. Leaders, I believe. Mother Faulkner had blonde hair and looked to be in her 30s. No, she was in a bright white suit and held a microphone in her hands. Father Faulkner was dressed in a black suit, but he had a large mohawk, one that we need a can of hairspray a day to maintain. He almost looked like he was about the same age as Mother Faulkner, and he carried a electric guitar in his hands. The crowd has already gathered, cheered as they approached. People yelled out they loved it. I stood off to the side and just interested to see what might happen. I don't mind them, to be honest. People label them as a cult, but I don't see them that way. To me, they seem to be bringing Field's host back. There's nothing bad about that. And if they're a cult or not, does that even matter? Mother Faulkner marched right up to the police officer with Father Faulkner by her side. Please step aside. We have a concert to put on for the rep. Mother Faulkner gestured at the portal. I cannot do that. The police officer replied, "You cannot. You dare not let us share our music? You mean your weird cult music? How dare you? Who's in charge here? Let me speak to them." Mother Faulkner looked past the police officer and at the other officers. "Hey man, let them through." Someone shouted in the crowd. More people heard this and joined in. Shouts of "let them through" echoed through the crowd. Police officer spoke into his walkie, but I couldn't make out what he was saying. Cries of "let them through" rang out from the crowd. Amidst the noise, I could see another officer joining the officer of the barricade. Mother Faulkner spoke to the officer, but I couldn't hear any of it. Mother Faulkner turned to the audience and raised her hands. Everyone, it is okay. Powers that be have chosen that we stay right here. So respecting the rule of law, no matter how hard that is, we will play right here. Let's get set up. Mother Faulkner with Father Faulkner right behind her. The other Faulkner took the speakers off the van, hooked them into power, and plugged their instruments into it. They all moved quickly and efficiently, as if they had done this 100 times before. Only the crowd waited in quiet anticipation. Mother Faulkner leaned against the van and waved to the crowd. Father Faulkner merely nodded at them. Finally, everything was ready. The speakers were laid out and all the Faulkners, except for Mother Faulkner and Father Faulkner, waiting. With the microphone in hand, Mother Faulkner and Father strode up to the front of the Faulkners. Father Faulkner plugged into a speaker and Mother Faulkner tapped her microphone. An amplified tapping sound rang out. "Is everyone ready?" Mother Faulkner spoke into her microphone. The crowd gleefully cheered in response. Well, when I woke up this morning, I didn't think that we'd be taking in a concert. A crowd of police officers appeared and joined their colleagues on the other side of the barrier. Some of them rested their hands on their guns. For a start, I want everyone to know that we do not come here with nefarious desires. We're here to stop this rip, as they've done with all the others. And if the police want to impede that, that is up to them. But gentlemen, you will never stop me from carrying my sacred mission. You will never kill my voice. Mother Faulkner said as her words answered with cheers in the audience. We are the Faulkners, and this is Fuck You Rip. Father Faulkner began to strum out a slow rhythm of notes. The drummer, the bassist, and the violinist joined in. Faulkner raised the microphone to her mouth. "Oh, how you came into our lives, crashing, vibrating, tearing. You made us terrified, petrified, like we were but lonely ants, weighing the boots of humanity. But we are no ants. We are humanity, defiant and strong against any threat, including you. You cannot kick us around, make us feel small. We kick you around, Rip. We are humanity, and we are defiant. So fuck you, Rip. Go back to where you came from, that vile, dark place you come from. You're not welcome here, for this is Earth, and this is our home. So fuck you, Rip." The crowd started joining in and singing along to chorus. Mother Faulkner's chanting with a soft voice rose by everything else. I wonder if that was what an elf's voice would sound like. I knew that had to be elsewhere, but I had to watch this.